Hello everyone, this is Darth Coonstyle with another Minecraft video. This one is actually going to be on Nether portals, and in this video I'm going to try to show everyone how to properly link portals and troubleshoot if you're having problems. So, switch around here. If you look in the upper left corner of your screen, keep in mind that that is your best friend when dealing with Nether portals. So, I am in creative right now, so I can fly around and stuff, and that'll come in play later. But as you can see here, I'm at Y30 or X30, Y4, and Z500. And if you look on the right-hand side over here, I actually set this spreadsheet up to automatically divide by 8 for me. So, um, the overworld, if you divide by 8, and what 30 divided by 8 is like 3 point something, so it's rounding up to 4 for us. Okay? Um, Actually, it's 4 point something, sorry. And 500 divided by 8, rounding ends up being on 63. So whenever I create and go through this portal going into the Nether, it's going to try to place a portal at 4,463. And in the event that it can't, it will try to create a portal as close to it as possible. That's why sometimes there's some discrepancies. So we're going to go ahead and pop through here. So I've only, it hasn't loaded yet for me once, but so as you can see here, and we're just going to break this portal for a moment so we can stand in the middle. We are actually at 1435.74. Now the reason for this would be, okay, that's probably because of, it should be here and here. This is the prime location for that portal. Since the closest bit of land to it is over here, that's where it placed it. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and make this a portal again. But this time, since we're, and the reason I didn't do 4 is because 4 is way down here. And it's probably all solid. So, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to set block at 435.63 of obsidian. Okay, so that's where the center of the portal should be, right? Now, we'll go ahead and create this real quick, and this is what actually syncing portals is. So basically what you're wanting to do is do the math, figure out what is the original portal in the overworld divided by 8, and this is where it should be. So let's just throw this down for a little platform to walk on. All right. Now, if you look up, this is a pretty high ceiling, so we'll come back to that here in a moment. But all right, so now this portal should no longer be linked to when we go through. So now we're in the overworld, same portal as before. Going back through, that portal is now a dead portal because this one is more precisely aligned. It's at the 463. Okay. Now, if we wanted to figure out what the exact coordinates for this is it's at 1439.74. So we'll go just for, because it's a spreadsheet, let's make it a little easier. So we'll go 14 times 8, 39, actually it's going to be what, 34? And then we'll go 74 times 8. And instead of using a calculator, I'm just using this so it's a little easier for you guys to see. Okay? Um, so that is the coordinates that we're going to go through and create another portal to. So, all right, where are we at here? So we want to go to 112, which is pretty far away actually. 112, 592. You know what? It's easier just to do this. TP to 112, 34, 592. All right, this is where the exact portal would correspond to in the Nether right now. Okay, we're going to go ahead and, for simplicity's sake, go to right here and create this portal. 3, 3, and 1, 2, 3. Now I tend to make 3 wide portals just because there's a center. uh, just the builder in me. But now we're going to go through and it's going to link us up to the other portal, like so. So now, even though these are fairly close to each other in the actual nether, in the overworld, you can travel pretty long distance. I mean, where's the other portal? Oh, it's all the way over there. So, as you can see, the nether can be used as a very useful mode of transport. So, if you look straight up, you'll also notice that I have another portal lined up here. Now, this is the reason why I tend to, if you guys watch me on a Nova Trail server, I tend to build my nether hubs around Y70, okay? And the reason for that is that it allows a more diverse set of portals. So this will always try to link to a portal near Y70 or even higher, right? Um, but when you start dealing with portals that are either really, really high up in another ceiling, like at Y120, or really, really low, it's actually going to sometimes cause headaches, especially if you get a couple of portals that are fairly close to each other. So, like this one right now, will still link in another to that one that's just floating here. Okay. However, if I go all the way up, we'll set it to we'll set it to 4,463 at Y70. So 463. All right, so right there is a good spot. All right, and we'll go ahead and create this portal again. And as you'll see, if I go through this one, it'll take me to the upper one, right? Now, here's the biggest dilemma: is let's assume for a moment this lower portal is further this way, and say you have a Titan connected to it. And you turn around and are going through portals. Sometimes, if you're all the way up here at Y120, where people like to build, where it's really easy to build nether hubs, if you're up at this level, there's always a chance that for some reason it'll pick that portal down there, or some of these will become unsynced. And it's very difficult to show you unless it just happens by accident. But yeah, it's always possible. And that's the reason why I tend to build the hubs right at Y70. 65 to 70 tends to do pretty good. So, yeah, so as you can see, I went through the upper portal twice. Even though they're at the same XZ coordinate, they're doing just fine. So now we have 3 different nether portals. This one's fairly far away, and then I have 2 more portals over there. And now, keep in mind, yes, this is a super flat world in the overworld. Now, there's a cooldown now. I forgot about that. Um, this is a super flat world, so this is down here would be like where you would be at a little bit below what's it called, diamond level. I mean, for the most part, I think the overworld water for oceans and stuff would be about right here. Maybe a little lower. I think it's at Y63 or 62. Most land formations are on Y72 or higher. So if you're building high up in the sky, you're going to be building up here with putting another portal. There's going to be sinking issues if your nether portal or nether hub's not more at that Y level. So hopefully this has given you a few ideas and a little bit of understanding as to why things are spawned the way they are. There are certain circumstances, and I'll be honest, where like you'll create a nether portal in the overworld, and then it will turn around and put you fairly far away in another because there's just like a huge wall or a huge lava lake. And then when you go back through, it'll create another portal like these two here. Where's the other one? Like these two here that are hundreds or like 100 and something blocks apart, but in another they both that both those portals link up to the same Nether portal. And again, that's because it will always try to find a place where you can actually walk. um, if I mean, it wouldn't be very fun if you turn around and were just like stuck in another portal inside of a wall. It would be horrible. So you'd probably die of hunger eventually or something because you're not really able to do anything while you're in the actual portal frame. So yeah, there's a bunch of nifty tricks you can use in another to get around. Okay. And again, the Y coordinate doesn't have to be exact, but it will look for the closest portal. And another little tip is that this portal, whenever you go back through to the overworld, will look for the nearest portal of where this division happens, or multiplication in this case, within 128 blocks towards the center. So if you're going more than what 8 times 8 64, if you're going more than 16 blocks away in the Nether, um, you can actually have problems with looped portals. So because for some reason one might be closer on the Y coordinate or something, because it does take into account your 3D nature. So in other words, these two would be closer. These two top ones would be closer than this block and this block because there's a diagonal here. Okay. Um, so if you take this out further, the block, oops, even though they're on top of each other there, this one is going to be closer to this one because it's on the same exact Y level. This one's going to be further away. So in this type of like scaled down instance, if you put portals like this, um, it will always try to go for like if this is within 128 blocks of each other, it will still try to go towards that, even though you might be trying to point it towards here. So it's something to keep in mind, but hopefully this has been of some help. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to post them in the comments. And if you like this, please give it a like, or if you want to see more content like this, please subscribe. This is Darth Coonstyle signing out. Bye.